So I did a video a while back up on a detent check on certain knives, mainly my Sabenza, and kind of how the detent was, and you know, its ability to pop back in there. Doing this kind of table test, it showed a less of a detent, or the ability for the knife to pull back into the scales. I got a lot of comments saying, hey, you know, you can test it a different way, or a better check is if you kind of flip the knife, does it come open or not? And I thought, okay, that's a good test too, but I consider it a separate view of kind of the detent, a good one, but different than what I did. I have to be careful doing this. I want to try it out. I don't want to break anything. It's kind of dangerous to flip your knives, so here we go. I don't want to damage the laptop here, but the Sabenza, there's basically no way. I've kind of done that before. And so another comment was, you know, what about the hinderer? You know, how does it do? Or it's known to fly out of the handle if you kind of whip it. Hear that click? So I'm just doing a light flick. I'm going to change the laptop here so I don't go into the screen, but I gotta see it here though. There we go. Alright, so that's harder to do, but what I found out was if you kind of flip down, it'll come open. So it's a downward movement, and I'm not touching any of the thumb studs or the flipper or anything. See, look at that, how easy that was. So that's really easy to do. You flick it down and it will come out. So I thought, alright, so let's try some other knives. That's kind of interesting. Let's get a Strider. Okay, what does it do when I flick it down? So I can flick it down and it'll come out. Okay? And that's understandable. This doesn't mean there's a defect in the knife or anything. It's just I'm throwing it down with a lot of force. Okay, so what if I do it from the side? Okay, a little more difficult from the side. I got it once before the video, but downward pressure mainly is going to pull it out. And let's take a look at the paramilitary. Look at that. I'm sorry, this is the military. The military. Okay, see? Just downward push, will come out. Side flick. Yep. A lot of force there, but it will come out. And the military is actually pretty easy to do. See, look at that. Okay, so lastly, the paramilitary. Okay. I tried this test before I did this video here, and the paramilitary was the winner. There's no chance the blade coming out of that. So what does this test mean? Honestly, nothing really. It's just, it was interesting to see how easy certain blades do come out, and I think a lot of it has to do not so much with the quality of the detent, but I think it might actually have more to do with gravity. You look at the size and thickness of these, the hinderer and the Strider, you got a lot more weight on these blades, and it's just, you know, they're coming down with the weight. Where the paramilitary, it, I don't know where to put it, the blade's not very thick, not very heavy. So it's, at least this one, this copy, this one wouldn't budge for me at all. The Sabenza, I have a kind of a tightness, you know, in the blade itself, so it's not going to come out. Well, look at that, look at that. What did I do there? Yep, it'll flick out. Kind of just loosen out. So, you know, what does this mean? Still, I don't think it means a whole lot. I would say that if you're concerned about that, tighten up your pivot screw. You can tighten the pivot screws up very well, and they're not going to come out, but they're not going to be as easy for you to open up. But if you don't want them coming out of the handle like that, then that's the remedy. Still, everything I showed you, all of them are very good knives in my opinion. Later.